Hello friends, welcome you all to the next lecture of Target UPSC Prelims 2021. Today we are going to have a brief look at environmental brain teaser. Today we'll try to learn biodiversity hotspots of the world. Again, the main purpose of this series is to make you aware about few important points and issues that you can remember in the examination. So let's start with today we are going to study biodiversity hotspots of the world. Now what it says, see. This is first important factual data. I will just read out important data. Remember, the term hotspot was introduced by Norman Myers in the year 1988. This name is important, Norman Myers. For those geographical region, I am just explaining you what is definition of biodiversity hotspot. Biodiversity hotspots are those geographical region which are particularly rich in endemism, which are rich in endemic. Now, what is endemic? Certain species are called as endemic when they are found only in that particular region and not found elsewhere in the world are called as endemic species. Technically, going by the definition, I will just give you a definition. Endemism is an ecological state of a species. Remember, it is an ecological state of a species being native. It means being found to a single defined geographical location. It means that particular species is found only in that geographical region and not found elsewhere in the world, such as island, region, state, or other defined zone or habitat type. Here, remember, organisms that are indigenous to a place are not endemic to that place if they are found elsewhere. Remember, if they are found elsewhere, then they will not be called as a endemic to that particular region. So, to get classified as a biodiversity hotspot, that particular region should have highest number of species having endemism. Presently, there are 36 areas. It means there are 36 biodiversity hotspots. There are 36 areas across the globe that qualify as hotspot. Now here from prelims point of view, these 36 hotspots, they represent 2.4% of the Earth's land surface but support more than half of the world's plant species as endemics and nearly 43% of birds, mammals, reptiles and amphibian species as endemic. It means you can just imagine just 2.4% land area of the world support 43% of all these species through endemism. The 36 ecological hotspots are home to 2 billion people, you can imagine, and provide crucial ecosystem services for human life and livelihood. You can imagine these ecological hotspot or biodiversity hotspots support almost 2 billion people. This is the beauty of this. Now, I know you could feel this particular part boring, but I'm just giving you this map is important. Just look at this map very carefully so that you will be able to understand this map. I will be reading out all 36 names of biodiversity hotspot. Though it is boring, but it is very, very important. Pictographic memory is always more important than all other motor memories. So, Polynesia, Micronesia, then it is New Zealand. Then coming to South America, it is Chilean winter rainfall, Valdivian forest. Chilean winter rainfall, Valdivian forest. Then it is tropical Andes. Then here in this particular region, Tumbes, Choco, Magadelana. Then here in Brazil it is Cerrado. Here in Brazil it is Cerrado. Then coming to this entire region of from Central America to Northern America, it is Mesoamerica. Then here it is Caribbean Islands. Then it is Madrian pine oak woodlands in the Mexico-American border. Then here it is California floristic provinces in North America. Then coming to this particular region, Mediterranean basin forms one of the most important hotspot region. Then Guinean forest of Western Africa. Then succulent Karoo. Then comes Cape floristic region. Then here it is Maputo land, Pondo land, Albany. Coastal forests of Eastern Africa. Madagascar and the Indian Ocean island, the most important. Then here comes Horn of Africa. Then here it is Irano-Anatolian plateau. It is Caucasus. Then here it is mountains of Central Asia, Himalaya, Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. Then here if you come to Australia, you will realize Southwestern Australia, New Zealand, forest of East Australia. Then there is New Caledonian. Then East Melanesian Islands. Then it is Wallacea, Sundaland, Indo-Burma. Then mountains of Southwest China, Japan, Philippines, and again Polynesia and Micronesia. So try to remember all these names. These are very, very important names from the point of view of these 36 biodiversity hotspots. Then for just examination purpose, I will just read out these all biodiversity hotspots from the perspective of continents. In Africa continent, they are Cape Floristic region, then coastal forests of Eastern Africa, Eastern Afro Mountain, then Guinean forests of West Africa, Horn of Africa, Madagascar and the Indian Ocean Islands, then Maputo land, Kondo land, Albany, then succulent Karoo, then about Asia Pacific region which has highest, East Melanesian Islands, Himalaya, Indo-Burma, Japan, mountains of Southwest China, New Caledonia, New Zealand, then Philippines, Polynesia, Micronesia, Southwest Australia, forest of Eastern Australia, New, Sundaland, Wallacea, Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. Then about Europe and Central Asia, you can realize Caucasus, Irano-Anatolian, Mediterranean Basin, mountains of Central Asia. Then for North and Central America, the names are California Floristic Province, Caribbean Islands, Madrian Pino Woodlands, Mesoamerica, then North American Coastal Plain. Then about South America, they are Atlantic Forest, Cerrado, Chilean Winter Rainfall, Valdivian Forest, then Tumbes, Choco, Magdalena, and then Tropical Andes. So these are 36 important biodiversity hotspots. Then we will try to understand what are the important criteria for a region to be classified as biodiversity hotspots. Here remember, what are the criteria for determining hotspot? Here, according to Conservation International, I will give you homework. Just search what is Conservation International and put its complete information on YouTube channel. According to Conservation International, a region must fulfill two important criteria to be classified as biodiversity hotspot. The region should have at least 1500 species of vascular plants. That is, it should have a high degree of endemism. I just explained you what is meaning of endemism in the beginning of lecture. Then it should contain 70% of its original habitat. Remember, it should contain at least 70% of its original habitat. Then coming to India, what are the four important biodiversity hotspots of India? There are major four biodiversity hotspots in India. First one, it is Himalaya. Then second one, it is Indo-Burma region. Then third one, it is Western Ghats. And fourth one is Sundaland. So let's go for what are all these four things. See, these are important. I will explain you everything one by one. Let's think about Himalayas. So, considered Himalayas, they are considered as the highest in the world. The Himalayas comprises of northeast India, then Bhutan, central and eastern part of Nepal. This region holds a record of having 163 endangered species which include wild Asian water buffalo, one horned rhino and as many as 10,000 plant species, of which 3,160 are endemic, can be found only in Himalayan region. Then this mountain ranges covers nearly 750,000 kilometer area. Then second Western Ghat is Indo-Burma region. What it contains? The Indo-Burma region is stretched over a distance of 23,73,000 kilometer square area. In the last 12 years, 6 large mammal species have been discovered in this region. You can imagine the biodiversity richness. The large antlered muntjac, the Annamite muntjac, the grey shanked douche, the Annamite striped rabbit, the leaf deer and the saula. These are 6 important species. They could ask you, they could give you name and they could ask you which of these species have been found in the Indo-Burma region. This hotspot is known for the endemic freshwater turtle species, most of which are threatened and extinct due to over-harvesting and extensive habitat loss. There are also 1,300 different bird species, including the threatened white-eared night heron and the grey-crowned croziers and the orange-necked partridge. So this is important about Indo-Burman hotspot. Then about Western Ghat, one of the most rich region. Here, this shows Western Ghat. Here remember, the Western Ghats are present along the western edge of peninsular India and covers most of the deciduous forest and rainforest in the India. The region consists of 6,000 plant species, of which 3,000 are endemic. Originally, the vegetation in this region was spread over 1,93,000 km square, but has now been eroded to just mere 43,000 km square area. The region is also known for 450 species of birds, 140 species of mammals, 260 reptiles, and 175 amphibians. That's why this region holds a great significance. The last one is Sundaland hotspot. Now, Sundaland hotspot lies in Southeast Asia and covers Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei, and Malaysia. In the year 2013, the Sundaland was declared as World Biosphere Reserve by the United Nations. This region is famous for its rich terrestrial and marine ecosystem. Sundaland is one of the biologically richest hotspots in the world, which comprises almost 25,000 species of vascular plants, of which 50,000 are found only in this region. You can imagine 50,000 endemic species is a richness. Then what is the importance of biodiversity? Remember, biodiversity and its maintenance are very, very important for sustaining life on Earth. Few of the reasons explaining the importance of biodiversity are: first is about ecological sustainability. Every species has a specific role to play in the ecosystem. They capture and store energy and also produce and reproduce and decompose organic matter. The ecosystem supports the services without which humans cannot survive. A diverse ecosystem is more productive and can withstand environmental stress, which is very, very important for sustainability of human species and also sustainability of other important species. Second is about economic importance. Biodiversity is a reservoir of resources for the manufacturing of food, cosmetic products, and pharmaceutical. Crops, livestock, fishery, forest are rich sources of food. Wild plants such as cinchona and foxglove plants are used for medicinal purpose. Wood, fiber, perfumes, lubricants, rubber, resins, poison, and cork are all derived from different plant species. The national parks and sanctuaries are a source of tourism. They are a source of beauty and joy for many people, is an economical significance. And finally, about ethical importance, all the species have a right to exist. Humans should not cause their voluntary extinction. Greed should not overtake the survival of species. Biodiversity preserves different cultures and spiritual heritage. Therefore, it is very, very important to conserve biodiversity for the very existence, for the very survival of human being. So, it is very, very important to have this biodiversity. So, that's all from this side. Keep watching, keep sharing with your friends. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you.